Do you want to just hear the whole story? So in investigative journalism, the first thing they tell you is to follow the money. But in this case, there is no tangible money to follow, and that's the story. A couple months ago, Mayor Byron Brown, along with the 514 Commission, came out and made a huge announcement on the steps of City Hall, requesting submissions for a design for the 514 Memorial, honoring those 10 lives lost and the 3 people who were shot but survived in this horrific mass shooting on the city's east side. But buried within the fine print of that packet of papers says that there needs to be a submission with a prototypical budget of about $15 million. When we saw that, our biggest question was, where is this money coming from? And in digging and digging and digging, the city of Buffalo, we found out, hasn't even determined a funding source and can't say how much it's even budgeted in public money for this memorial. I sat down with the commission chairman, Reverend Mark Blue, who told me point blank, there is no money. And just to be clear, there is no money in the commission's hands right now.
There is, for the sake of the interview, there are a lot of things that are happening that I cannot divulge at this time. There is a pledge and guarantee that we will have funds to do what we need to have done.
But pledges are not tangible.
Correct.
So at this point, there is no money behind the commission.
At this point, there is no money.
And in telling me that there is no money, we encounter some hurdles. Number one, there's a December 1st deadline for submissions. After that deadline, developers on a short list would be paid a stipend. But if there's no money, how would those developers be paid a stipend? The state says that it's budgeted $900,000 for the commission of this memorial, the building of this memorial, and the process in getting this done. But it appears that that money has not been put in the commission's coffers. Now, it's interesting because in the minutes that were just recently published on the 514 Commission's website, one of the people presenting to the commission specifically mentioned that the commission needs to determine how much money should be liquid at any given time. And then when you consider a $15 million prototypical budget and we're only getting less than $1 million from the state, where does that other money come from? Turns out we're going to be doing a lot of fundraising to try and get your private dollars in this memorial. When we talk about developers coming forward with ideas and that short list of developers being paid that stipend, you wonder how much they're actually going to be paid. If I'm a contractor or I'm a developer and I'm listening to this, should I be weary of coming to you with a request for a submission?
No.
Why not?
Because this is a process in which a lot of developers, contractors have been through before. When we're working in something like this, we have a lot of individuals who are donating, who are doing in-kind service, and this is something that I believe a contractor and or developer would love to be a part of in making change and making wholeness into our community.
What's the timeline to get this money?
Hopefully, we will have those funds within the next year.
I found out that the AKG Art Museum paid their finalists $30,000 each, and there were 5 of them, a stipend to submit their ideas. But again, the commission has no tangible money. I spoke with Mark Talley, whose mother, Geraldine, was shot and killed in the Tops mass shooting. He says this money should be spent elsewhere.
I think that money could be used to revitalize the area on the east side of Buffalo. Was it have community and green spaces? Was it having more money going to community centers so they can have a larger funding budget to serve those people in the communities?
As if to say that's how your mom's legacy should be remembered.
Absolutely.
Then you talk to people like Ebony White, whose uncle, Hayward Patterson, was also shot and killed. She wants there to be a living memorial as well.
At that time when they were murdered and their lives were cut short, they were living, whether it's another place of venue or restaurants and entrepreneurship that is solely based in the lives of those lost and those victims, right? Creating more opportunity. That's what I would really enjoy being able to see.
So all of this begs the question, when will we actually see a memorial built to honor these 10 lives lost and the 3 people who were shot but survived? Reverend Blue insists he's not concerned about a budget source or a funding source, despite the fact that he has no money right now.
We should have financing by next year.
With all due respect, the governor came into town right before Election Day last year, establishing this panel. A year later, there's still no money, and we could not see that money for another year.
Well, that is something that we realize that this would not be done in 1 or 2 years.
So what's the long-term play here?
The long-term play is hopefully, and I'm being maybe presumptuous, if I had a magic wand, I would say it's done tomorrow, but I don't have that. But we're looking in the next maybe year to 2 years, possibly.
And then how does this compare to other memorials that have been built around the city of Buffalo or Western New York? We have a Flight 3407 memorial built in Clarence Center honoring those lives lost, but it was private dollars that funded that memorial, and the families of Flight 3407 raised that money. But that's just a comparison. The reality is so much of what's being built or what's being suggested will require a lot of money. And at this point, the commission doesn't have it. That's it. That's the story.